Levels is good. Here, got your water. Yeah, man.
Got the water, got the Red Bull.
Yeah.
All right,
Everything
welcome
seems
back.
good. Yo,
All right, round two.
back. Round
All right,
two,
let's go.
episode
All
2.
right.
Life, business, and everything else in between. You're here on the new show, Chilling with Villain, and it's your boy Villain.
All right, Coach
And my
T.
bro, Coach T. So you already know what it is. Welcome back. And we're going to talk about mindset of an entrepreneur, right? What it takes, what you need, knowing if you have it, right? And if you possess that and you're tired of working, making that move, breaking boundaries, breaking fear,
Yep.
right?
Yeah.
So, let's talk about it. All right.
Let's get into it.
All right, let's get into it, man. You already know what it is. Yo, T, man, welcome back, man.
All right, well, happy to be back. Let's make it happen.
Yeah, let's make it happen. A little bit different, the setting, right? A little different, right?
I love it.
A little different, man. How to change it up a little bit. How to get creative with the art, the frame,
right.
because you definitely got to believe
absolutely.
in yourself.
Yep.
Once you believe, you create it. And then you inspire other people, right?
That's the key. That's
the key.
Yeah,
I think those are some main keys. All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
So yeah, man. So let's take it away. What's up? Talk to me, man. How's it been since the last time we got into this?
I mean, working. Still on the road right now. With the trucking. You know what I mean. I was actually out picking up a load today. Right?
Yeah.
Exhausted, so I'm a
tired.
little bit slouched over. So you know what I mean. But we're gonna get busy. We're gonna get into the information. We're gonna really talk about it right now, right?
Yes, let's do that.
I got a small trucking company that I'm running at the moment right now. But let's talk about entrepreneurship, right? And like even when I got into the trucking business, it was a transition because I had just sold the food truck, and it was right there in the beginning of COVID. Right. And I knew, okay, the only thing moving right now is, medical and transportation.
Yeah.
Right. So I easily made that jump. I got my CDL when with 3 months, I bought my truck. I was in it. Yeah. Right. So taking action is the key number one, right?
Action.
Let's get into, entrepreneurial mindset and really what it takes. Right. And what are the core elements? And I think if it starts with anything, it's taking action.
Definitely taking action. Yeah, you got to take action, man. That's really important. I mean, what happens is, though, people get afraid, though, right? They're afraid. They're like, doubt goes into their minds and stuff. And they're like, damn, but what if it doesn't? What do you say to people like that? Like, yo, what if it doesn't go? What if, it's all I have right now. I don't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a situation right now where I'm taking care of so-and-so. And if I make this move and it doesn't go good, then I'm just risking, that. And then I mess up whatever I was taking care of,
Yeah, I think what I say to that is like, all right, what if you don't though, right? This time next year, you're gonna still be in the same position, right? So it's when it comes to it, you gotta weigh out the risk factor, right? Like, if I really want something to change, then I got to make a move. If not, I'm going to be stuck in this position, right? And there is no getting out of here unless I do something with my life, right? And the government going to come and save me. Nobody going to come and save me. Man. I got to take action.
Yo, I'm glad you said that, bro, because that's one of my things that, getting older and a little bit wiser, because like I said, I don't know nothing, honestly. I try to be as humble as I can be. Yeah. But, things, and this is my opinion, bro, but things bother me as I grow up. Yeah. And it's like, I think only one time in my life when I was in my probably 20s, I looked for government assistance. And that was for a short period, right? Okay. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, well, you brought it up, but it's because we need to break out of that stigma, bro. People need to break out of that. Yeah. Oh, let the government help me, you know what I'm saying? Let me sit back, chill in my crib. They paying for my crib, you know what I'm saying? I get, and it's helpful. I'm not, discrediting the help, because that's what it's there for. Yeah. When you're stuck in a situation, you get some help, but it's only for help. The problem is people found the loophole and they're like, oh, they're going to just keep staying on it. But then also the other problem is that they get comfortable. They get comfortable in that. But then the other problem, see, it's just problems after problems after problems. And I just figured this out. Like, you get there and everything's cool, right? you're getting, your stuff paid for you, right? Not all of it, because it's like goes according to how much you get paid, whatever the case may be. But what happens when you want to make a push to go forward to make more money, but you want to do it legit. You could do it on the side, but then you eventually don't grow as much, and you don't get the benefits as to like opening up a business account or getting credit and stuff like that when you do it on the side, right? Because you want to establish that foundation so you can get better. But what happens is, if you're stuck in that position, you can, because they're gonna see that you're making money. Yeah. So when you pass that bracket, you have to leave affordable housing. You have to leave the government. So my thing is, I want people to get out of that mindset. If you're comfortable and you feel like you don't possess that skill and you don't want to do anything else, and you're cool and you're fine with the job, kudos to you. That's dope, right? Yeah, that's cool. You good. But for those who trying to break out of it, bro, and want to make that money, they have a skill set. Well, whatever the skill set is, bro, invest in yourself. We talked about it before. Invest in yourself. Absolutely. That's key. That's number one. Right? So let's talk about that. That's serious. Like, so let's move forward with that.
I mean, with those elements, right? You got people that are, you got lazy people, you got comfortable people, you got people that just do enough, right? That's what you would call the middle class. Right, people that are just doing enough, or like the lower middle class, right? Like, I live a comfortable life. This is enough for me. I make enough money. I'm comfortable. And then you got people that just want more, right? Yeah. People that inspire to be greater and be, and get more out of life, right? Yep. And just and just understanding those elements, right? And sometimes you can get stuck, you can get comfortable, and that's very scary.
It is, man.
It's very scary. Not depending on other people, not being sure, right? And or even depending on money. Let's say you got some money in the bank, and you're like, oh no, I feel safe now. That's sometimes that could be a scary place, right? That could be, because anything could happen, right? Something, and your health can go wrong, right? Bills can hit you, IRS could come after you, right? Car accident, like anything could really happen, and then empty your bank real quick, and then now you feel like, okay, now you're in a paranoid state where you're trying to figure out how you can get out of that, and you stressed out, right? But I think to go with that, when you know how to generate money and you got ways and creative ways of making money, right? Yep. I think ultimately you could, take advantage of your skill, right? But if you constantly just relying on money, because I know a couple people, and ain't nothing wrong to what you said, right? There's nothing wrong if you do live off the government, or because everybody has their situation. Everybody has their particulars.
Definitely not discredited.
Yeah, like everybody, like, yo, but you don't understand my situation. No, I absolutely understand.
So, but the reason why I bring that up is because you can't complain about your situation. You made the choice to be in that situation. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yo, if you do hair braiding, if you do this, that, and the third, master that and make money out of that. Yeah. That's it. And get out of that situation. And that's pretty much it.
Look, granted, there might be some young mothers out there, single young mothers, trying to work, trying to go to school, trying to raise kids, and it's just hard to juggle. Like, I completely understand the situation.
Yeah, for sure.
But look, if you really want more out of life, this is what we're talking about. Yep. If you want more out of life, if you're comfortable, hey, by all means, stay comfortable. But if you really want more out of life, let's get into some ways on how you can get started, the mentality that you gotta have, and how you prepare yourself to really make things happen in your life. Let's get into it, right?
Yeah, let's get into it. Entrepreneurial mindset, right?
Entrepreneurial mindset. The number one thing you gotta have is you gotta be able to take action. Like, even when you don't know everything, like even when you don't know what you're doing, you don't got all the answers. Look, I still don't got all the answers, and I've been in it for 13 years. I don't have all the answers, right? Like, I opened up my first business when I was 17. It was an ice cream shop on Union Ave. Right, and you don't have all the answers, but you start to figure it out. You start to figure it out. You start to, like, you know what I mean? As time goes, you start to put the pieces together. But if you don't have that one element where you take action, right? Like, you can have the strategy, you can have the game plan, you can have the idea. Everything could be great. Like my father always says, right? The greatest ideas is in the grave.
Oof.
You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
They never took action on it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They never did nothing with it. They never made something out of it. So taking action is like one of the key fundamentals when it comes to business, right? And we talked about this before. Like, the way I look at business is, like, I'm not real big on sports. right? I know you always see me with the sports hats and all that.
That's just for fashion, I think.
Yeah,
I'm the same way
fashion.
too, man. I mean, I like sports, but
Nah, they always ask me like, "Yo, why you never play?" I like sports. So, like I watch a playoff, like I watch an All-Star game. But to be honest, I watch a Super Bowl, but
just for the wings and
like I'm chilling. Yeah, I want to watch. But like for me, my sport has always been business, right?
Yeah.
And if you understand the fundamentals of the game and you understand how it's played and you study, like my superstars is big CEOs, right? Like historians, like people that change the game, right?
That's
and
a
they
strong
really
mindset.
they really
inspire you,
paved the way, right?
Okay.
Those are my superstars, right? In my sport of business, and this is what I call business my sport because I love it. It's a passion. I keep track of the stats, like you know what I mean. Like I'm really in the mix, but you got to understand the fundamentals of the game. You got to understand how to play. Right, you know how they say Jordan took 900 and something last minute shots in his games.
Yeah.
But he only made $180.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, something like that.
Nobody worries about the 700 and something that he missed. Right, they only remember the 180 that he made.
Yeah.
Right. So just like in sports, but in this sport, in the sport of business, you're gonna take your losses. That's just what comes with the nature of the sport. Right. You take some, you win some.
So losses, right? That's okay in the business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So
It's part of the process.
So what do you say to people who feel insecure about losing? That they're like, I want to do this a certain way, but they afraid of losing. Because I feel, you need to take a loss every now, because I think you learn from that. You know what I mean? And it's not like you going in, I'm going in because I want to take a loss. Yeah. You know what I mean? It just eventually happens. Like what happened, going back to my shop, right?
I mean, before you get into that, don't lose that track. But
okay.
If you're afraid of losing, you don't understand the game.
Yeah.
That's like saying, I don't know how to play ball, so I'm never going to dribble a ball. Right. So you scared of losing on the court. You're never gonna dribble a ball. You don't understand.
You never
the game.
know. Yeah.
You don't understand the game. Not to cut you off, but I just wanted to say
No, for sure. No, but going back to that, as a matter of fact, we'll leave that for later. We'll talk about that later. But yeah, so what do you say to that person though, right? Like you're coming in like, I got this and that, but I don't know, man. I don't know what to do, man. Like how do you push them? Oh, first of all, and then how is it that they know that they possess that type of skill? What are those qualities that they need to know about themselves, that they have that skill? Well,
I think you gotta have the desire, right? If you have the desire and you have the want, right, and there's something in you, there's a fire in you. I want to get spiritual real quick, right? Because God says He makes us, in His image.
Yes, we talked about that. Yeah.
Right. So I was watching. There's a good brother named Myron Goldman, and he gives a lesson on entrepreneurship, and he uses the first paragraph of Genesis, and he breaks it down, and he makes the description of how God created us like Him, right? And in the beginning, right, God said, "Let there be light."
Correct.
Right. So in the beginning God created, right, and then God said, right, in the beginning God said, "Let there be light," and God started creating, and then God after that, God's thought, right, and He said, "Make man in our image." I don't want to mess up his study, right, but in other words, God spoke, God created. Right, God imagined us, right? So He used His imagination to really bring us to life, right? God managed everything and put the world together, right? He put everything in pieces, right? Then He picked up the dirt and, right, He blew into us, right? So we a dirtbag.
We started from the bottom, bro.
We a dirtbag, right? So, but at the end of the day, right, we have all those elements, right? Not to botch his lesson or nothing, but we do as humans, right? As as the image of God, we have those elements of being creative.
Correct.
Right? Speaking life.
Correct.
Right? And doing labor.
Yes.
Right? We have these elements, and we have to take advantage, right? Being like children of God, right? Walking in His image, we have to take advantage of these. And if you have a passion, if God gave you an idea, God gave you a vision, God gave you a dream, right? Look, but God can give you a dream and a vision, but God can't do the work for you.
gotta put in
right?
that work.
God didn't give us tables; He gave us a tree.
That's a fact.
We make the tables.
We make the tables, yeah.
Right, and if we would have never made a table, they would have just been a tree, right?
Yeah,
so He
fact.
gives us all the tools you need. You got the creativity,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you got this inquietud, like you got this itch where you like, I want to do it,
Right.
but then what ends up being that wall is, but I'm scared I'm gonna fail.
Doubt.
That's right?
that doubt.
That's the doubt, and sometimes, you know, the
And
devil,
we all have it though. We all have it. Even sometimes I go through it, right? Like I second guess. I'm an overthinker.
Yeah.
That's a bad habit. And I know that. But I'm trying to break that, you know? And you could break it. It could be broken.
Yeah.
But you have to break out of that. You have to just move that step forward. Move that foot one step closer to where you need to be.
Like, look, the devil can't stop your blessing. He can't take your blessing away, but he can get in your mind.
He could get in your mind.
And once he gets in your mind, now he's in position.
Yeah.
That's a scary place,
Yeah.
right? He's in position because he can't take the blessing that God has away from you, right? But he could prevent you from attaining that blessing.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I think that's what we have to understand. So if you have, a vision, or you have a skill, and you have a passion, all right. So now let's get to it, right? Being an entrepreneur, how it's not easy. How chances are your first business probably not gonna be successful. I know the internet changed that a little bit.
Yeah,
I know, I get it, right?
Yeah.
Where now you can do a couple automations and maybe you hit, right? But that's not normal life, right? That's not every day.
Yeah.
That's not the everyday struggle that
It
real
takes
people really
time.
go to. It takes time. There's learning curves, but you have to be willing to put in the work, right? Take the sacrifice, take the risk. So that's just a lot of
So one is taking risk. That's one identification, one quality.
taking
Right?
risk,
It's taking risk.
not being afraid of failure,
Not being afraid of failure. Taking initiative.
taking initiative.
Taking initiative. All right, cool. Yeah, you gotta take initiative, man, for sure. And like, especially like you're like a problem solver, right? That's good. That helps. Like if you're good, if you know you have that, you attain that skill.
Yeah, that's one of the elements of entrepreneur too. Like if you're an entrepreneur, right, or you have that drive, right? Because listen, nobody is born a businessman. Nobody's born an entrepreneur, right? This is something that you train for and you gain the skill of, and anything could be learned, right? So you learn these skills, you put it to practice, right? And you go with and you take the blows, you take the ups and downs that goes with it. But to what you said though, part of entrepreneurship is a big part is solving problems, right? Entrepreneurs solve problems at its core. This is what we do.
Yep.
Right? We see a gap in the marketplace and we fill it. We see a need for the customer and we fulfill that need.
Yep.
We see a problem and we solve it.
Correct.
Right? This is the core of what an entrepreneur is. So you have to practice on the skill of solving problems, whether it's for people in a service-based product, right? Like helping people out and getting better results, right? Or it's like giving them something that they need or getting them something that they want, right? Whatever it is, this is what an entrepreneur is at its core. We solve problems, right? And you want to make sure you get excited when you see a problem, right? You want to make sure when you see a problem, you get excited because okay, this is
You found a solution.
I'm gonna find a solution. Right, I'm gonna figure it out. You have to get really good at that, right? And that's key, right?
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's another takeaway, right?
I remember a time I didn't know I possessed this type of skill, and the skill that I possessed, I guess, was I don't know, aggressive, like hustling mentality. Like you had a story when you was 15, right? I also had a story when I was 15, right? And I'm a shy introvert kid, right? So, growing up was a little tough for me. But your pops, my pops, your pops is my step pops, right? Who's actually here right now and stuff. What up, Toho? T-Bow Ave, Fordham Road.
Okay.
No, let's go before even that, bro. This is crazy.
All right.
It's crazy to me.
Pre-internet.
Yo, pre-internet, bro. you know what's even crazy to me? Because I know, anyway, he was in the Army, you know, and he came from the Army to New York with his family and stuff like that, right? His family, abuelita, right? I don't know if you were still too young for this part. Okay. Abuelita used to be outside in Saint Nick. Excuse me. Was that Saint Nick? That was Broadway, right? Or Broadway, something like that. You see how it is now in the Heights. Everybody out there selling merchandise.
Yeah.
All right. Abuelita was out there with the panties and dresses.
Yeah.
Yo, killing it. The dresses, we were on the 5th floor, 181st, in St. Nick, Broadway, whatever, right? We was in the building. We had all the dresses. So whoever came through bought panty dresses, and they wanted other stuff, exclusive stuff, and they would come from Peru, whatever the case may be. Boom, they would go upstairs. Bro, hustle. I didn't get that at that time, right? Anyway, now we move forward. You know, Pops already had, like, his mathematics was on point. He had how to make money, how to talk to people. That's another key. That's another great skill, bro. How to talk to people. I gotta find a book on that too. That I know there's books out there. If you find a book on how to converse with people, get it, because that will help you strategically in business, right? Especially when it comes to sales and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I say I gotta get that right, because my sales pitch is from then to now is I have to brush up, right? Because now going back to then, right? So then now, we on T-Bout in Fordham Road. Fordham Road is like this big strip. It's like downtown Patterson, right?
Yeah.
But 10 times better. I mean, massive people, right? And especially in those times, bro, I mean, it was like it was money. It was people. It was, anyway, tons, dozens and dozens of T-shirts. So, you know, moms would work, you know, she would strive. She worked in the Federal VA hospital. Okay. Right? So she did clerical work for like the president or whatever in the VA. Anyway, it was hard for her to give me money from time to time. You know what I mean? Yeah. So Pops was like, yo, you want to make money?